Hello, strong people. Week 4, day 4 of off-season prep, leading into the Olympic City Pro-Am prep. Yeah, so I've decided to, rather than prep for the Arnold, I'm going to fully prep for the Olympic City Pro-Am instead. The reason being, that show's for sure. I'm signed up, my name's on the roster, I'm ready to go for that. For the Arnold, I'm not, obviously. I have not been called up yet. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to prep for a show that you don't even know if you're going to be at. And so like the scenarios that I've looked at here are like I fully prep for the Pro-Am, and then I get called up to the Arnold, and I do the Arnold while prepping for the Pro-Am, and then I go into the Pro-Am feeling good, fully prep for that. And then the other scenario is I prep fully for the Arnold, I don't get called up, and then I've wasted a whole prep, and now I have 3 weeks to get ready for the Pro-Am. Obviously, there's the chance that I, prep for the Arnold, get called up to the Arnold, and then I go compete at the Pro-Am a couple weeks after. But the Pro-Am is a much heavier show. So for those weights, a lot of weights that I haven't really touched, it's going to need some prep. General strength building is what's going to be needed for that. And the events for the Arnold are just so much different. Medleys, squat, sandbag, they're just completely different events than the Pro-Am. So I think I'll be more prepared for both shows if I prep for the Pro-Am. I think if I prep for the Arnold, then I'm only going to be prepared for the Arnold. So, if I get that late call up, and we'll mix in some probably event familiarity training, just getting a feel for, the press implements, sandbags again, probably squats. But yeah, I've decided to fully prep for the Pro-Am. So we made that decision last night. It wasn't an easy one to make, but we made it. So moving forward, today we have an event day. I don't know if you can hear, but it's raining outside. So that completely kills my ideas of, doing runs outside. But that's okay. We make do. This is a pretty common occurrence when you have a shed you train out of and you don't have anywhere to do full runs. So what I'm going to do is do marches in place. I'm going to pick the implement, stand in place, march with it. I really do think this helps more than what it might look like. I don't like it nearly as much as the actual moving event. I'd much rather, go 50 feet with it. But not an option today. I recorded this intro earlier, but I forgot that my mic died last night, so I spent, most of my warm-up charging it. So that's why if you see me keep looking down, it's because I'm waiting to see the light go out of my mic. Making me nervous. But it's supposed to be pretty heavy today. We got frame, so we'll see what we get up to. I don't know what's even loaded on here right now, so let's go do that and then go from there. So I'll see you guys, probably, well, you'll see me after I do this. Alrighty then. Well, frame's done. I'm surprised at that. I got up to, I guess I calculated at 730 pounds, but it'd be slightly over that, if you count clips and like the little metal crossbars. So, I don't know, 735, 740. That doesn't really matter. So at least 730. That would be the heaviest frame I've ever picked up. At least barehanded. So I'm barely by 10 pounds. The one at regionals last year was 720. And that was for, 50 feet down, 50 feet back. But these handles are bigger. They absolutely are. So they're harder. I'm very happy with that. I would have liked to have gone a little bit heavier, and I think I could. But that was, I was doing that little trick where you just throw weight on and don't worry about what it actually weighs until after you do it. And then you're like, let's see how much that was. So I was kind of hoping that was mid sevens, honestly. So I approached it as such. I was, a little amped up for that one. But my grip felt good. It felt like I could have held it a little bit longer, but I feel like I would have started to tear calluses at that point. And I don't, tearing a callus sets you back. I know it's something stupid, something small, but whenever you have a giant hole where, really thick skin should be, you just can't really grip anything with it. Not nearly as well as you could before it was torn. So I'm very happy with that. Once again, I think moving with it is actually easier. I think marching makes it 20 times harder. So to be able to march with 730, I think it was like 5 seconds, 6 seconds maybe. To do that at all for me is big. I'm happy with that. Because I haven't done any direct grip work, really no grip work, since, nationals. So I'm pretty happy with that. But moving on, I have no idea what I have next. No idea. And this is like my least favorite thing to unload. So let's, spend 10 minutes unloading it and then we'll see what we have next. All right. Well, I think I had a couple options for well, it was a front carry is what I was supposed to do after frame, which is what I did in a way. I can't set up the yoke in here to do like a yoke front carry, which I would have preferred to do, obviously. And I definitely don't have a Conan's wheel. So I thought, the third best thing would have been the axle. It's not as thick around as a yoke or a Conan's wheel implement, but it's, the closest thing I got. So I set it up in the rack and did some front carries, worked up to a top set there. Did them all beltless. I'm so glad that I'm not doing Polar Express, just because, well, if you don't know, that's an upcoming competition at 580 barbell in like 2 weeks, I think. 2 weeks from tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. And there's a Conan's wheel event in that. I haven't done a Conan's wheel since my very first competition, and it's still up there with like it's probably top 3 as far as my least favorite events go. I just hate front carries. I'm not designed very well for front carries. Thinner athletes are usually better for front carries because they are able to get the bar closer to their center, their like over the center of their body. A front carry is made easier if it's not so far out in front of you. But because, I'm a super heavyweight, larger athlete, bigger chest, got a stomach, a nice power belly, it's hard to get that bar close to the body. So it wants to roll away from me the whole time. So that makes my upper back fight pretty hard for it, which I like. I like the training part of it. But to actually, prep on that week after week, ugh. I'll have to do it at some point. I almost guarantee it, but I'd rather not for now. So that's all I'm going to record today. Probably another short video. I got to go get, first thing I got to finish up my accessories here, but then I got to go get ready and then head out of town, shopping trip for Christmas. It'll be fun though. Me and the wife hanging out. Probably go get some food somewhere tonight, somewhere nice, hopefully, because we haven't gone out since our 1-year anniversary. which has been over a month now. It'll be fun. I'm excited. But next week, we got some big lifts. I looked ahead. 1 rep max, axle incline bench, I believe. Hopefully that goes well because my shoulder is, I think my coach, by the way, if your coach doesn't do this, get a new coach. He's asking me questions like, do you think the volume was too much here recently? Or do you think it's cold? I was like, probably a little bit of both, but it's definitely been a ton of shoulder volume. And usually when I do pressing movements, I press twice a week always, but the first day of the week is always like a standing press, because that's how we press in competition. So I'm usually training an event like a log or circus dumbbell, axle, whatever it might be. And I'm standing. So when I stand, unless it's programmed strict press, then I'm using my legs. And my legs take some pressure off of the bottom of the lift. They're meant to propel the bar upward so you can finish the lift. But whenever I'm pressing, seated twice a week, my shoulders and chest are doing all the heavy lifting at the bottom of the movement. So training that twice a week, heavy one day, and then still heavy, but a lot more volume on day 2. I think it might have been a little too much. So he, adjusted the program on the spot, which is great. So, get you a coach that listens to their athletes to a degree. Not all, athletes aren't always right. So I'm excited for that. Hopefully I heal up in time for my big press Monday. And then Tuesday we have a 1 rep max deadlift, standard deadlift from the floor. I have no idea what to expect. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I just like deadlifting. So until then, go out, get strong, and stay strong. See you guys in the next one. Peace.